Hey there, students. This is a little recording to show you a bit about our course anthology if you're having a hard time figuring out where your text is and how to work with it. I'm going to show you a few little helpful tips. So this works for both English 4A and English 4B. They might look a bit different, but a few things. First of all, if your teacher has been nice enough to post an announcement that looks like this or something else, you can simply click on it and your anthology will pop up. Alright, so this is what our anthology looks like. What you should do, it'll make it really easy, is to bookmark it. I can just click on my little star here and I can add it to my bookmarks bar, make it nice and easy. Alright, you can see that it's way down here, but it's in there. That's one way. Second way is inside the orientation button. If you can't find the announcement on your home page, inside the Getting Started orientation, hopefully you've gone through this. Oops. Let's see. We are going to go to page 5. Here we go. Actually, we're on page 4, and notice right here, this tells me all the readings right here. If I click on Electronic Anthology, again, you can see my anthology pops up. Alright, so that's the second place. And finally, the third place is actually inside your course unit. I'll show you where 4A is. 4B will be somewhere very similar in the first unit. So once I open up class, I'm going to open up this first folder. This is the first section. And I'm going to open up the very first section inside this folder. And I'm just going to keep going. Scroll down. And right here, see, anytime it says read, if I click on this, again, it opens up my anthology. So there are several different ways to find your anthology for the first time, and then remember, bookmark it. Alright, I'm going to show you another handy thing as well. So now that I'm in my anthology, notice it came straight to the story that I want to read. But if you opened up a link from somewhere else, awesome. So over here on the left hand side you see an online book menu. I'm going to go ahead and open that. Here's my table of contents. I can click on any of these pages and this will take me to whatever reading. So these are all the readings in our online anthology that you're going to encounter. Alright, so that's kind of an important thing. Second, you can also just search within the entire thing if you don't want to look at the table of contents. If you want to search for, oh, I don't know, let's see, something has to do with an elephant. So I'm going to search and look. You can see that it comes up several different lines in the book. I can even search within a chapter as well, so you can kind of search for things. You can also bookmark things. Say for example, I need to read Hard Times, alright? So I've got it open and I can add a bookmark here, and I give my bookmark a title, Hard Times, and I say okay. There you go. Alright, so anytime maybe I'm back here on Canterbury Tales and then I'm like, oh wait, I need to go to one of my bookmarks, I just click Hard Times and there you go. Okay, so it's all you can't really go wrong clicking on things. You can't. And then finally, the last tab on your left-hand menu side, you'll notice a resources, and if you click that arrow, you can actually download our online text as a PDF, so you don't actually have to be connected to the internet if you want to read. I strongly suggest this. So you drop that little arrow, click on your anthology, find wherever you want to save it. I've actually already saved it, so I'm not going to do it again, but you save it and there is your anthology. So I could actually go back here. I can open up my anthology and it's all right here. Alright, so this is a handy way for you if you are trying to read but you don't have an internet connection, do this. And remember, you can always use the find tool to find things as well when you're working with a PDF. Alright, the other cool thing I want to show you before I wrap it up, down here we have our page numbers. That's pretty basic. Up top right, you can change the size if this is not big enough. You make it bigger. Alright, you can zoom all the way. You can look at 2 pages at once. You can even look at a bunch of thumbnails. Alright, and this might be an easier way for you to scroll through and find something. It all depends on you and how you want to look at it. I'm going to go back to 1 page. It's a little too big for me. And then finally down here on my bottom left hand corner, I have some other little tools. I'm going to go back to this first poem. Alright, since this is the first thing you're going to read, notice right here I can create a notepad window. Here I'm on page 1 and I can make a note about this poem. What does the poet mean? Alright, this is a way for me to actually take notes while I'm reading. I could just keep going with my notes. When I'm done, I could export it, but export's not seeming to work for me right now. So I actually noticed that I can print, and I don't really want to print. I can actually save it as a PDF, which is pretty awesome on my computer, so hopefully you can do that as well. Or you can simply copy and paste to a Word document. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Here, this next little one, I can actually click right here and I can add a note. I can actually just type a note and I'm going to save it and look. And then I can click on it and that shows me my notes. So as I'm reading, I could interact. Alright, so that's kind of a cool feature, so that when you are writing, if you just want to I'm old school, I used to write in my books, but books are now online, so this is a great way to interact with your text. You also have a highlight tool. You can change the colors if you want. Pink could be questions that the poet asks. You could change to green. Maybe green is something that you're like, I don't know what this word is. Alright, so something that you need to look up. Alright, so this is another great way to interact. And then you have your hand tool, which we know just helps you scroll down, move the page around. And then the arrow is your arrow. Alright, so I think that has pretty much, oh, and then I want to save. Awesome. It saves all my data, so make sure you do that as well. That way your data is saved in there next time. So watch, I click away and I come back and voila, my notes are all there. Alright, if I want to exit, I can simply click the exit, or you can just X out of it. So that is kind of a helpful way to use your book. Alright, again, if you have any questions, be sure to ask your teacher. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this recording.